we're going to start right now then. So my voice is still a little hoarse from having the flu last week, but I'm so glad that you joined me today.
Thank you.
So, first of all, how did you come up with the name Barbeque and Smoke?
Came up with the name. A good friend, one of my best friends, Mac Bostic, and we both worked for the same agency. Ran into each other in the hallways. He's a cigar aficionado, and he knew I made barbecue sauce. And then one day he just decided to say, you know something? When we retire, we need to start a business. And lo and behold, that's what happened. I ended up retiring first.
Uh-huh.
Then he retired, and then in November of 2020, that's when Barbecue and Smoke was launched.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So what have you learned in the 2 years uh owning a business? Because you started your business right in the middle or beginning of the pandemic.
Yes. Owning a business takes a lot of work. We have learned that. I am fortunate to have a business partner like Mac. He always works at 30,000 feet altitude. And so I'm always trying to keep up with him. But one thing we've learned, the cigar community has been so welcoming. They have just truly welcomed us from every aspect, no matter if it's international or domestic. Everybody actually has tried to pull us to the side and say, hey, here's some advice once they found out what our concept was.
Mm-hmm. So what made you think that chocolates, because your chocolates are amazing, what made you think that chocolates was going to go good with cigars?
Well, once again, as I said, Mac is a true cigar aficionado. I've been smoking on and off about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But and what's funny is neither one of us drink. So we started thinking, okay, can we pair up chocolates with cigars? And we actually found a phenomenal chocolatier. So we actually went to him and said, listen, can you start creating chocolates that would pair up with cigars?
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, we started taking these to our cigar events, every event that we went to. And that's how this all got started. And people were like, wow, this is a great concept. We never thought these two would go together. We
Mm-hmm.
thought wine and chocolate, but never cigars and chocolates.
Right. So now do you have, okay, so because you have, how many varieties of chocolate products do you have?
Really, you're going to ask me this question, okay? Listen, you're cheating here because you already know. Uh, well, we initially started out with a milk dark chocolate espresso.
Mm-hmm.
We have chocolate covered blueberries, chocolate covered cherries, also dark cherries. We also have chocolate covered pecans, walnuts, peanuts, cashews, and we also have chocolate covered pretzel balls. And now we've added something new, which is our gummy bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's our secret weapon right there. So we have to keep that on lockdown because our guy says, listen, don't start putting this out to order because I can't keep making this at the rate you all are selling.
Listen, those gummy bears are amazing, and like I told you before, it's because it makes you think of your childhood. It's like your childhood, and you're an adult, but you can still enjoy a cigar and some gummy bears. And they're not infused or anything, but the flavor is so amazing. And like I told you before, I'm not a chocolate person, but the chocolate is so different than what you would get in like one of those, miniature candy bars or whatever. So it's like, what made you want to do a different type of chocolate, versus the chocolate that's mass produced?
Well, one thing we've done is we did our research. And like I said, we are the guinea pigs, as you might say, when it comes to our chocolates. So we tried it out with the cigars. But one thing about our chocolates are at least 65% to 70% cacao. So they're a very good premium chocolates. Also, with our products, there are no preservatives whatsoever. Everything is natural. So even from the blueberries to the cherries to the chocolates, and our chocolatier, he is phenomenal. He goes into his lab and he comes up with this stuff. And unfortunately, one of the chocolates you didn't get to taste that we actually had created just for women is our chocolate truffle. So
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm a
we,
I'm
we
a
keep that on
patient
lockdown.
person.
So, and also another interesting thing about chocolates and cigars, if you describe the process with both, they're exactly the same because it all depends upon the topography, where they're planted at, how they're harvested, and so forth. And until the very end, you really won't know what we're actually talking about when it comes to making chocolate and making
And
cigars.
and yours is unique because your chocolate is grown in the same region that the tobacco leaves are grown. Now, was that by coincidence or did you know that's what you wanted to do?
I wish we could take credit, and I give credit to Mac and say he's that smart, but it just worked out that way. But in our research, we did understand the pairing, with chocolates and cigars, and so it makes a huge difference. I mean, with the altitude, the soil, and so forth, that both chocolate and the cigars are grown in.
Now, do you have a favorite cigar that you like with one of a certain product that you have, like say with your chocolate covered almonds? Do you have a favorite cigar that you pair with that specifically, or that is or that it is manufactured to specifically go with the chocolate almonds?
One of the beauties of our chocolates is it depends upon the person. As you know, being a sister of the leaf, cigar smoking is about enjoyment and it's about the experience. So everybody's palate is different. So some might, coffee drinkers, they love the espresso.
Mm-hmm.
Some like milk chocolate, some like dark chocolate. Or some who even like nuts, they might prefer pecans over walnuts. So it all depends upon what your palate is. But our chocolates go with any cigars, basically.
Now, have you done the entire chocolate with wine? Like, have you paired your chocolate with the wine as well, or are you mainly focusing on the chocolate with your cigars?
That is something in the near future we want to try. And once again, Mac and I, we don't drink, and so we have to find somebody to kind of direct us on how to do that because you go get Boone Farms and like, what is this? Like, okay, Boone Farms and chocolates. Like, I mean, I'm old school. So, somebody like you can help us navigate. Stop laughing at me, man. So I'm just
But
saying.
you said the Boone's Farm. I wasn't even ready for the Boone's
See,
Farm.
I'm dating myself then. I'm dating myself right there. So, but yeah, that is one of our, next things to do because of all the events that we go to, each of the cigar weeks, whether it's Houston, whether it's Philly, whether it's Dallas, North Carolina, even internationally, when Mac does our business over internationally, one of the things they ask, hey, have you ever thought about pairing up your chocolates with wine? It's like, so that is something that we're planning on in the near future.
And now you have, because the holidays are coming, you have a very unique concept as far as gift boxes. Can you tell me or tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, the gift boxes, that's how we originally got started. We started out doing curated boxes. So Barbeque and Smoke vision was you can become part of our family and get 5 premium cigars, custom made barbecue sauce, custom made chocolates, and an assortment of other things. And we just believe in making this a total journey for you when you open up this box. But when it comes time for holidays, now we've learned over the years, we can custom our boxes to our family. We just don't call people our clients. You all are our family. And so whatever you need, we will tailor that box as you might need it because there might not be some cigar smokers or brothers of the leaf or sisters of the leaf they're trying to get a box for. But guess what? They love those chocolates and they love that barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So
So when you make the curated boxes, is it based off the client's your family's preferences, or do you come up with this barbecue sauce will go with these chocolates and this cigar, and then you try to put it together, or is it based off of what your family wants?
we want everybody to have a truer experience. Now with our barbecue sauce, we actually have 9 different flavors, but we've only usually listed at least 6 of them on the website. So another thing with cigar smoking and enjoying a cigar, something we didn't know is that in the summertime, good cigar, why are you barbecuing? And so now that's where our sauces come in, our barbecue sauces. And so everything in the package just goes together. But like I said, with our barbecue sauces, we also have one that's called Boss Sauce, which is whiskey and coffee infused. We have one that's called the Executive Blend, which is cognac and ginger infused. We have one called Chocolate Heat, which is chocolate and spice infused barbecue sauce. So, but then another thing that we do with our barbecue sauce is if we meet somebody and they tell us of a libation or a drink that they like, we will create a custom barbecue sauce using that drink that'll never see the market. So whenever
Now,
they want, oh, go ahead.
okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So whenever they want that barbecue sauce, they'll call us up. Hey, I need another supply. We go into our ingredients box, our little recipe box, and then we'll make it for them.
So your barbecue sauce is infused with whatever alcoholic beverage your family likes. But how do you know that you have the right combination because you don't drink? So how do you taste test your barbecue sauce?
I was waiting for that question. Everything is actually done on smell for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I don't know how I should put this. I have two taste testers, which are my kids, which are their adults.
Okay.
So they partake in libations. And so
Mm-hmm.
I would come to them and say, hey, how does this combination sound? And then they'll name a drink that is made like, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a such and such drink. And I'm like, okay, me and Mac are like, okay, we're on the right track then. But usually everything is done by smell. I have a
Okay.
very sensitive smell, so that's how I do whenever I'm making up a recipe dealing with alcohol.
So you are the barbecue person. You're the barbecue chef.
Yes.
So when you okay, so if let's just say I come to you and I want a curated box and I want my box to be I'm just gonna go off of let's say I want a Cavassier and that's a alcohol. How long would it take you to come up with that recipe to before I could get?
Well, I at least ask for at least a week because I want to try it out and see how the combination goes. But since you mentioned Cavassier, I've gained a little knowledge. So Cavassier, if I'm correct, is cognac.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct. So once again, we have a barbecue sauce, cognac and ginger. So it took me about a week, to come up with this. But then once again, I went to my kids and I said, hey, I'm thinking about making, cognac and infusing ginger in it. And my kids like, oh, that's a seven something. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, whatever that is. Like, okay, good. So I knew I was on the right track, but we asked for at least a week because we have to get into our kitchen and we have to try things out and get the right balance in the flavors.
And so with the barbecue sauce, is it like are they great for topping off a recipe or can I slow cook with that sauce as well? Can I use it as a marinade?
You can use it as a marinade, slow cook, and matter of fact, another way Mac and I teamed up, Mac actually used it as an injection into one of his turkeys,
Oh,
and people went crazy over it. He said so. You can use it actually cooking on the grill. You can use it as a side. It all depends on how what your taste is and how you like to use a condiment.
now with the barbecue sauce, is that does that go does do you have cigars that you say, okay, this is what this is, and it would go with this cigar if you're putting it in a curated box? What cigar would you pair? Let's say what cigar would you pair with the cognac and ginger barbecue sauce?
Well, Julie, when it comes to the barbecue sauce and pairing the cigars, when you're out barbecuing, and I'm starting to do this even more now than after we started our business, I actually got a stick in my hand now when I'm barbecuing. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just the feel. It's like, wow, I got a nice stick here. I got a nice smoke going on. I'm barbecuing. And so it's just the combination, the enjoyment, whether you're a sister or a brother, to leave you're on the grill and you're cooking and you're enjoying a stick. And
Mm-hmm.
then you might have a little, as they say, brown look off to the side where you can get to that also. So me, it's just a Coke, but I make it look like rum and Coke. But anyway,
So, okay, so do you have any plans to have alcohol infused chocolate?
no, we never have because why change something because our chocolates are just done so well. So
Mm-hmm.
we have the right recipe right now. We have the right combination. And then I think that gets into a little bit more where it's going to take a little bit more time. But
Mm-hmm.
right now we're happy where we're at now with the chocolates that we have. And once again, we actually have people following us to all of our events trying to get these chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
So they're good as they are right now.
So, what is the biggest lesson you learned in doing, chocolate? What was the biggest lesson that you have learned with the whole process of the chocolate making?
Not to be surprised anymore. Me and Mac, when we go to these events, the demand for our chocolates now has just been phenomenal. And also, what we've learned is we go to events. We actually have people. I don't eat chocolate. Okay, we learned don't take that as an answer
Mm-hmm.
because once we slide them a piece of chocolate and they find out, they're like, something. Give me a pound bag of that. And I'm like, oh, now you like chocolate. So
Right.
we've learned that even though a person might say they might not like chocolate, they probably do, but they just haven't had the right chocolate.
Right. And that is, I used to always say, oh, I don't like chocolate, but it wasn't that I didn't like chocolate. It was just like you said, I didn't have the right chocolate because I can eat, I like I'll say, okay, I can eat a Babe Ruth, right? but it's not the same. Your
No.
chocolate is not the same as that. So people have to realize that when they go in. Have you had people say, "Oh, this don't taste like a Babe Ruth or a Kit Kat or a Twix"? Have you had people do that, and have you had to explain why it doesn't taste like that?
The only time when they do say that is to say, "Oh, this is better chocolate." That's what they use that for, like, "Oh, this does not taste like a Hershey's or whatever candy bar." Because once again, our chocolates, they're 65% to 70% cocoa and no preservatives. Just like with our blueberries and cherries, they're freeze dried before they're dipped
Mm-hmm.
because that enhances the flavor once they're dipped. And so even when we first met our chocolatier person, we literally spent 2 to 3 hours in their shop, and he took us through the history of chocolates. And he had all the chocolates that you buy in the stores, and we compared them. We were like, wow. And so, we've never gotten that, like, this doesn't taste like a Reese's cup. Like, no, okay, you like it. So they love our chocolates because it cleanses your palate, and it's such refreshing on your palate when it comes to, eating the chocolate, which you've tasted.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny that you say that because chocolate does cleanse your palate. And the most unique thing that I found while tasting your chocolate was when I had the cigar, and then I had the chocolate, it was almost like I started with a clean palate all over again. So that then the next time I took a draw off of my cigar, it was almost like I was tasting the cigar for the first time. Even though I had already been smoking it, it was like I did a draw, then I did some chocolate, and then I did a draw again. It was like, this is different. This is just so different. It's so much different than what I expected. And so when you meet people that try your chocolates for the first time, have you found that those are your repeat customers that says, okay, I'ma always need this? Because I'm gonna tell you this, I'ma always need them pretzel balls. I'm always need those. That's gonna
you know,
always have to be.
it's we love our family. We love everybody who we've met. And, the way Mac, our motto is with our chocolates is we want to elevate your experience. So even if you're not a brother or a sister of the leaf, you will still enjoy the chocolates because it's something different. We are providing something different that you're accustomed to from the stores. And don't get me wrong, hey, stores have their chocolates, but we have our custom chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a difference. So generally people, when they try our chocolates, they want to keep coming back. There's like, okay, I need a bag of your cherries. I need a bag of your blueberries. And every event we go to, we sell out. So that's another thing that we've learned. We got to figure out ways to ship more chocolates whenever we travel because, after one day at a 5-day event, our chocolates are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, which
So,
is phenomenal.
so when you do your events, do you have your barbecue sauces available as well?
Yes, we do. When we both can work together because it's a little bit difficult when only one goes. And
Mm-hmm.
so we'll take samples of our barbecue sauce and let everybody sample the 6 main flavors that we use, and then they can order them right there. And
Mm-hmm.
so then we'll ship them out to them. We just ask to give us at least 2 weeks for our shipment because once we finish with the event, then we got to get back and do the orders. But when we're working together, we carry all our barbecue sauces with us, at least a sample.
And so are you the only person, like, are you the head chef of the barbecue part of the barbecue and smoke? So you do all of the barbecue sauces yourself?
Yes, as Mac has deemed me, as nicknamed me, I am the mad scientist in the kitchen when it comes to barbecue sauce because these sauces were his vision. He came and said, "Hey, you know something? We need to do this barbecue sauce." Okay, let me go in the kitchen. I'll come back, and he's like, "Man, that's it." So it got to a point like, "Okay, Mac, we had 9 barbecue sauces. We got to slow down a little." He's like, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I still got a few more." And I'm like, "Let's just wait." So yes, as he calls it, I am the mad scientist in the kitchen.
And you're going to stick to what you say you have 6 of your main sauces, but you have
Yes,
9. So
yes.
is the plan to stick to those 6? Like you're not going to go past 9, even though,
Yeah, we're not going to go past 9. 9 is a good number because what we've seen is based on our research and what we've seen from our family or our clients, uh, they are consistent. And so our chocolate heat, grown folks, which is a spicy one, uh, boss sauce, and our executive blend. Those are our 4 main flavors. Everybody keeps requesting those flavors. Now we have the other flavors, but it seems as though everybody wants those flavors consistently over and over again.
Okay. And now, do you have the same thing happening with your chocolates? Like, are there certain chocolates that you have to have in stock because you know that they're going to always fly off the shelves?
When we go to these events, it's either chocolate covered blueberries, chocolate covered cherries, the espresso, and almonds. Those are the four everybody wants when we go there. And usually the blueberries and cherry go because, as you've tried, when you have a stick and you take a draw, it's that sweetness, that chocolate, that combination. Those are the two that first go. Blueberries and cherries, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot keep those. So
Okay.
those are the ones we stock up on the most when we go somewhere because we know. And then the third is going to be the espresso.
So you're local here in the DC area. So how has it been getting your products into the local cigar lounges here?
We've been very fortunate. Matter of fact, we've expanded to other states. So we are in cigar lounges in Georgia, North Carolina. I'm trying to think. We're in a few here up in Northern Maryland. So, but then also we're international. That's another thing about us. So we also are featured in Thailand and Panama. So we just became international a few months ago.
So
So
how did that happen? How did you go and get your product over in Thailand?
that I give all the credit to Mag Boston. Once again, in the agency we used to work for, we traveled a lot internationally. And so he traveled extensively for 10 plus years internationally and all the connections that he made.
Mm-hmm.
And so, once again, no matter if you're international or domestic, guess what? If you meet a brother of the leaf or sister of the leaf, there's going to be some fellowship right there. So that was a conduit for him. And so
Mm-hmm.
now that we retired and started this business, he has those connections overseas, and that's where he's able to go over there and do the introduction for us. And we've been very blessed where, cigar lounges have picked us up overseas.
Wow. So I know Puerto Rico is coming up. So are you all planning to be in Puerto Rico for their cigar events?
Yes, we are. Matter of fact, we're in the process of getting everything ready now because of the products we're going to take. And so I'm working on that while Mac is actually in Thailand, in Bangkok, and Phuket because we've got multiple events there. So I'm back here getting everything ready for the Puerto Rico Cigar Fest.
So how do you choose the events that you want to go to? Because do you look at what the lineup is and say, I think our chocolates and barbecue sauce will do well there, or are the organizers coming to you saying, "Hey, I think you need to be here"?
Initially, we started out, we want everybody to try our chocolates and our barbecue sauce. So we're hitting every event, and we still do because we like the fellowship. We like meeting new brothers and sisters of the leaf. And so, but then as our name started getting out, our company, uh, event organizers and promoters started coming to us and say, hey, would you mind coming to our event? Sure, we'll come to our event. And that's what we do. So it's a kind of a mixture of both.
So, okay, so just let everybody know what, because you're on Instagram as at Barbecue and Smoke, correct?
Correct.
Now, do you have a Facebook page?
We do have a Facebook page, same thing. So if you go into our IG account, Instagram account, it'll link you to our website and it'll also take you to our Facebook page.
So, okay, so now that the holidays are coming, I want what is the number one thing that you would say you need this curated box? Tell me the sauce, the chocolate, and we can pick our own cigar. But what is that number one curated? I don't really like chocolate and I don't really barbecue a whole lot, but I'm gonna get this box so I can try it.
So what's funny is during the holiday season, we also have a cinnamon and rum
Oh,
barbecue. See, that's why I slid that in there. I was waiting for you to bring up holidays again. So we have a cinnamon and rum flavored barbecue sauce. But in regards to the sticks, there are at least 6 companies that we've collaborated with.
mm-hmm.
And so all of their sticks are phenomenal. So you can't go wrong with any of those. So if you go into our, when people talk to us, they'll go into our website, but then they'll DM us on IG account. But going back to your question, yes, for the holiday season, our big thing is our cinnamon rum barbecue sauce.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
You threw that in there. I wasn't even expecting that.
Yeah, I can't give you everything at one time. I'm like an assassin. I get you when you don't expect it. So, but yeah,
Well,
so oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it when for this season coming up, it's like I just feel that it's going to, if people didn't know about you, they're gonna know about you now. And like I said, I am just floored by the quality of the chocolate and the expertise that you have, because most people will get into it and they not really know the history, or they can't tell me where they got the chocolate. Oh, okay, it's Dominican. Is that they can't really tell me a whole lot about it, but you all did your research before you
Yes.
got into this, and I think that's the biggest lesson that people that are starting businesses need to know, is that you have to do the research
Yes,
first.
definitely. And just on that note, we've been to an event where somebody was from the DR, and we didn't tell them where our chocolates was from. And as soon as they tried the chocolates, they said, your cocoa is from the Dominican Republic. And we are like, okay, he's right. It was like, and then he turned out he was a chocolatier
Oh,
from the
wow.
Dominican Republic. So that really humbled us. And we were like, thank you so much. He was like, this is some very good chocolate. You have
Mm-hmm.
done a phenomenal job. So,
Wow. So what do you see? What do you see coming in 2023?
so you can't be asking those questions. You know, I can't give you everything right now, but we have some things that it's going to shock a lot of people. It's going to be a pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
We are expanding our brand. We're under Barbeque and Smoke. Now we're created a candy for our chocolates called BQ&S.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our new sub brand for our chocolates. But we are in the process of expanding. Let's just say internationally.
Oh, wow.
So, and
Okay.
we're in talks right now with a major cigar company that's going to be pushing our chocolates, and we're going to do a collaboration.
Wow,
And I'll
that
leave it at
oh,
that.
I can't wait. Look, when it finally happens, you got to come back here so you
Oh,
can make that announcement here.
listen, you will have a front seat when this announcement is made. Trust me.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I have had such a blast, and I can't wait. I can't wait to taste the truffles. I can't wait. But I also got to do the barbecue sauce, because being a camper, you barbecue basically
Mm-hmm.
all year long. So it's like I
Okay.
can't wait to try these barbecue sauces. So you can be found on Instagram, and on Instagram, all of the links to your Facebook and your website are there. So
Correct.
people, you need to go out there, you need to find
Yes.
Barbecue and Smoke. And I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube and my Instagram pages, so that everybody can start getting those curated boxes for the holidays. Because for the curated boxes, how long does it take to get that, like if I want it for the holidays?
Well, as long as you give us enough time, because what we try to do is to ship out at least a week and a half before Christmas. Make
Okay.
sure they can get it before Christmas, because as you know, once people start shipping around the Christmas holiday, everything takes extra time. And so we
Right.
want to ensure that if you put in an order, you get it at least a week before Christmas. At least they'll have it. Because
Okay.
now they're not worried, like, okay, I got it January 16th, but then that doesn't work.
Right,
So,
right. Okay, so people, you got to go to Barbecue and Smoke if you want to get your box before Christmas. Remember, Christmas rush, everybody's mailing something, everybody's shipping something. So put your orders in now. Go on and start getting your orders in now so that you can get those boxes, get them wrapped up, give them as your gifts when you have your holiday parties. Because I know I got to go on the website and order mine. So well, I thank you for joining me today. And even with the craziness of my microphone out, watch when I get off, it'll be working perfectly fine. But I thank you for joining me today. And as soon as you get that collaboration, we coming back, because I want to be the first one to
thank you.
have you announcing it on my show.
You got it. That is not a problem at all. You will be the first one right there, Miss Coco.
So I look forward to seeing y'all later in the week. And have a great Monday. This is how you kick off a Monday.
Yes. Thank you so much. And we're so humble for having us on your show. We appreciate it on your podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Take care, ma'am.
Okay. And bye-bye.